What's up, guys? This is Jazmyn Glitzy and I'm back with another tutorial, and this is how I do my eyebrows for this year. I had a other one for last year, but we're doing it different now. So I'm starting off with plucking my eyebrows. I don't get my eyebrows done and I don't do a lot to my eyebrows, like I don't pluck them a lot, but I'm starting off by just getting the shape together and just kind of create how I want my eyebrows to look. Because sometimes they be looking on at the best, but we're gonna make them look okay. I didn't like this line, so I decided to go over it. I'm trimming quite a bit off. But yeah, so I'm just gonna follow that line. I'm not gonna go behind the line that I created, and I'm just gonna start plucking away like how I'm doing now, you know, just going at it, goddamn, just plucking. Plucking, it hurts. It's not fun. My eyes usually water. They're not that watery now. But yeah, so I just skipped through it and I'm done. So I'm wiping off that extra, what is it called? Liner. And I saw some stray ends at the end of the tail, so I'm just plucking it off. And then I'm going to the other eye, and I already just wiped it off. So yeah, so we're gonna keep going. So next I am going to brush through them after I finish wiping it off. And I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to trim the long hairs, because some of the hairs get super duper long. And then I'm only trimming at the tail for the most part, and then a little bit at the top, but not a lot at the top. Like, it's not really cutting too much off. And I do that for both sides. So I didn't like one of the eyebrows, so I'm gonna repeat the process and cut or trim a little bit more off, or pluck a little bit more off, as I would say, and try to figure out what shape I want. And that's the end of my trimming and plucking process. So now I'm going to take Anastasia Beverly Hills pomade in chocolate, and I'm going to fill in my brows. I start at the end, and I use more product at the tail of my eyebrow and then work my way to the front. I don't really re-dip my brush. I like maybe re-dip it twice, but if I re-dip it, it goes straight to the tail. And then, you know, I'll get my lines together. This eyebrow doesn't like to do right, so I'll be having to do extra stuff to this. When you see how I'm like doing these extra little strokes, yeah, usually the other brow don't really gotta do all that. I'll just do a line at the tail, or some lines at the tail, some strokes at the tail, and I'll fill that in, make sure that that is the most pigmented part of my eyebrow. And then work my way towards the front. I make sure that the bottom line is way more crisp than the top line. If that makes sense. I think that makes sense. I think I like how your body feels next to me. Oh, baby, when you're kissing me. Like I said, this brow, it's more complicated. Oh, baby, when you come to me. So now I'm starting to take whatever is left and I'm starting to fill in the middle of my brow and accentuate the top line of my eyebrow to make that a little bit more defined, but not too much. And I haven't even worked at the front, so the front's still bare. And I'm doing the same for the other side. And now I'm just taking whatever is left, literally whatever is left on the brush, and I'm just stroking it into the front of my brow, because you don't want that part to be too blocky. I can't talk. You don't want that part to be too blocky or too pigmented and too filled in, because then you'll look crazy. You look like you have 2 blocks on your forehead.
I can't pretend.
And I see that I have a little bit of extra hair at the top of my eyebrows. I don't really tweeze up there, but for the sake of the video, I was just like, you know what, let me just go ahead, get the rest of this extra hair from the top of them brows, you know, just go ahead and do it. I don't always do it, but yeah. And right there, I'm just fixing the brow, or like placing how I want the hairs. And then I want to take my LA Pro concealer in Fawn, and I'm just going to line underneath my brow with the applicator brush that's already on it. It's about a couple shades lighter than my skin tone, but after I do the other face, the whole face, it don't really matter. And after I blend it out, you can't really see. And I just blend it out with my fingers for the most part. I don't really use a brush. I used to use a brush. I used to use a MAC brush, but then I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna use my hands. And today I am using my hands. You see how blocky they are though? Like, they're like blocks right now. But we gonna fix that, especially in the front. And just blend, blend, blend. You know, blend that baby. Alright, and then I'm going to take my finger that I was blending with and just go across the front. Make sure that there is no line underneath my eyebrow, because I do not like that look. So yeah, just make sure that everything is just blended out nice. And that's basically my whole eyebrow routine. If you like this video, make sure you like, subscribe, you know what I'm trying to say. Make sure you do all of that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one.